So I'm doing something a little bit different today. Uh, I recorded this video last night and I'm uploading it today, so it's going completely out of order. If you're watching this series and you're watching these videos, you can be reassured that it's not going to reveal anything that is integral to the plot. It's not revealing anything that is integral to the gameplay. Nothing like that really happened in this video. I'll explain why I'm doing that in a second. But the content of the video was really capturing a lot of my thoughts about where we are coming out of lockdown. And if I were to wait on this video to release it at the normal time, that would probably be about 3 weeks from now. And by that time, we will already be out. You know, I don't know what the state of the world is going to be like in 3 weeks, but I feel like it is important to release this now while it's relevant. And it has been well received. So the stuff that I talked about apparently resonated with people. And so I felt compelled to do this. I'll just present it without any further thoughts. So I probably shouldn't be doing this tonight. I'm in a really weird headspace right now, and I don't really know what I'm going to talk about. I don't know if I'm going to just get wrapped up in the game and just enjoy myself like a nice peaceful night of Hollow Knight, or if I'm going to launch into some thoughts that I want to get out of my head but don't think I should. So we'll find out. And if you're watching this on a VOD and you heard any of this rant, then that means that things might get a little weird. And if it turns out that, you know what, we just had a good time playing video games, then we'll cut this out and it'll be like it never really happened. But there's only one way to find out. So let's just play ourselves some Hollow Knight. I'm looking for the Grimm's Child Flame around here. Let's see. What is this thing? I think I've already seen it before, yeah? Focus on your soul. Okay, yeah, this is the thing that just taught me how to use the soul gun. I can't seem to find where the fire thing is. Oh, there we are. Okay, cool. So this will be kind of fun. I get to fight them in this area. Oh, they're bigger now, so we get to deal with tougher boys than we had to deal with beforehand. These are... Okay, so there's one of two different attacks. Both of them are very easy to dodge. There's the third one that I totally forgot. And yeah, you can also see that the Grim Child is actually... is actually like helping me fight a little bit, so they're not a completely useless little like waste of notch at this point. I mean, they weren't a waste of notch beforehand, but they were effectively not a useful use of my notch there. Oh, hang on. Come on. The annoying thing about this fight is the dude's constantly inside of these walls and platforms and shit. I think that my little Grimm's Child has managed to get more hits on him because they're able to like at least clip into the walls. This is getting pretty old real quick though. Come on, come on. Ooh, nice, nice. This will make it a little bit easier for me here. Whoop. Thank you. Come on, come on. There we go, there we go. What? Please die. Please die. Please die. Whoop! Oh, crap. Okay, okay, okay. Come on. Where? Hey! Did it. Barely, but it did it. So, you know, we're wrapping up like the pandemic stuff lately, and I didn't really realize like what I kind of knew it was going to be difficult, right, to kind of go back the other direction with this stuff. And it's been there's been a lot of talk about like specifically like how do we keep doing work from home, and you know, do we want to keep doing that when we go back into the office? And we're in this sort of conflict, and I'm sure everyone's going through this right now, where a lot of our leadership, for whatever reason, you know, everybody at like the CEO level and stuff like that, they're very convinced that for whatever reason they feel like we shouldn't be working from home full time, and like that's fine, I guess. I mean, everybody's gonna have to figure out like what that means for themselves, and you know, we're just in this conflict, right? Like, I don't know of a single person that's honestly saying like we should be going back to this full time, and I think that's just really speaking towards something that I hadn't thought about all that much, which is like you know, there's not like a world that we're going to be able to return back to that's going to be really anything like what it was before all this happened. And I think that I can only describe it as denial, right? Like, that's just what it seems like to me, is a lot of insistence that like we're going to be able to go back to the way things that we used to so when I talk about going back from like to the office full time and like not doing work from home anymore, like I want to emphasize that like it's not about giving like when people say like they don't want to go back to offices and stuff like that, they often say like, oh man, you know, it's going to be less convenient, right? We've gotten kind of used to like not having commutes and being able to like be around like family or pets and stuff like that, and like that's true, and it's like I don't want it to seem like I'm bothered by the thought of potentially having to go back to working in an office, and I want to say that because it's not an argument for convenience from me. It's not like, oh, I don't like my commute, therefore I don't want to do this again. For me, it's like I especially lately have felt like the time that I have gained from being able to work from home and being able to do things like just throughout the day that I normally wouldn't be able to do because I wouldn't be around my own house. Like, that extra time that was afforded to me allowed me to work on myself and discover sort of the mechanics or the systems or the thoughts or the habits or whatever, like whatever that was, that I feel like it led to me to become, especially lately, like a better version of myself than I have ever felt like in my entire life. And I think that that's evidenced by the fact that, like, I'm uploading stuff onto YouTube a lot more, for example. I'm more focused. I just feel better about myself all the time now. And I am worried on a very, very deep level that because I feel like that was a function of having more time and more energy to focus on myself and discover these things, that if I have to lose that even a little bit, I'm not going to, like, have it anymore. Like, if I lose that time, I don't know what that means for whether I'll be able to sustain the improvements and, like, the gains I've made for myself. And the thing that really kind of gets me about this stuff is that hi there. Ladybird just came in to give me a big ol' hug. The thing that, like, really like also feeds into the like almost like level of disdain for the thought of going back to working in an office and having to give up that time. Like a big part of that is that I have also had to deal with really losing a lot of hope. And losing, like, it's just been nuts in some sense to have to deal with the fact that, like, I've heard people, like friends or coworkers or whatever, like, just say, like, this is the most heinous shit sometimes throughout, like, the pandemic, for example. Like people saying, like, you know, even in a joking sense, being like, oh, people are overreacting to the pandemic, like, people should just die, right? Like, what the fuck, you know? And, like, I don't, that messes with me kind of a lot, that it's like people that I would be just really shocked to hear that from at all are, like, just extraordinarily heartless. Just extraordinarily heartless. And that's just, like, one of, like, so many things that has, like, really made me question Like, what am I, why, if I'm so much happier, like, focusing on myself, wow, that attack just went right through me. That was weird. And I have to go back to, like, trying to go back to, like, a world, like, as if the pandemic, like, kind of didn't happen or whatever. Like, if I have to go back into that, like, it's gonna be really hard for me to square it with, like, the stuff that's, like, changed on so many different levels. And the reason, you know, that I brought up, like, you know, people just saying crazy damn shit is that, like, it almost seems like I want to like, I just want to, like, shake people sometimes and be like, are you fucking kidding me? Why are we going back? What are we doing? Why are we trying to do this? Like, we're not ready. We have to figure this shit out. I have to come to grips with, like how, like, what learning about people and learning about, like some of the good and, I mean, a lot of the bad. Holy shit. I mean, I've focused on that maybe too much, which is what's making me, like, kind of deeply worried about all this stuff. And it's like, where's my dead body? Jesus. Like, I don't know. Playing video games and talking about this, but it's my microphone, so I guess it's my only time to, where I can definitively claim, like, hey, this is my space and I can say whatever the hell I want. But, like, it's difficult for me to come to grips with the fact that I'm potentially going to have to give up, like, the amount of time that I've been able to spend, like, working on myself, and how happy I've become as a result of that, how much I've gained from it, to then be like, I have to go back to supporting systems or a world that, like, I either don't recognize or I find disgusting. Because of, like, just the way that stuff has been, like, conducted or revealed to me, like, on so many different levels of just, like, this tremendous callous disregard for life. And, like, that's just the one thing that really sticks out to me. You know, I can't get it out of my mind, but, like, just so many things of, like, how I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't know how much of that I can compromise on. And I'm aware that, I mean, I can't hit this fucker. I'm aware that I'm going to have to. And so, oh shit. And so it's like, you know, I'm aware that it's probably healthy to at least be like, okay, I need to go back to, like, being in these sorts of systems and this world as we kind of knew it beforehand. Like, I'm gonna have to go back to that to some degree. We can't just completely throw everything out or whatever, apparently. Like, I'm gonna have to do that, but, like, God, I don't know how much of that I can honestly give up. Like, I mean, it's kind of all coming to a head with thinking about, like, working, like, not working from home anymore and going back into an office. That's just kind of becoming, like, the manifestation of this, but it's just, like, thinking through, like, you know, if I could go back to the office, like, 1 day a week, and I'm probably fine with that, but, like, even if I have to do it more than that, like, 2 days already feels like it's a bridge way beyond what I want to give up. And I don't know, maybe this isn't exactly a huge problem. I'm making a much bigger deal out of it, and, like, I can get back into it and get used to it. But it's just really, really you know, throughout the pandemic, I've become like so much more cynical and so much more, you know, for anything not related to like myself and the immediate stuff that I have worked on for myself. Like, I have become so cynical and so bitter and so nihilistic that, like, I recognize that it's probably not healthy, but I don't know, like, now if I'm forced to go back into society and deal with it more, like, now I gotta find out, like, I'm gonna be forced to, like, figure it out, you know, like, is this a permanent thing? Like, am I just going straight doomer all the time now? Which is a great word. I'm really glad that we got that word out of 2021. Like, that's a good one. Karen, Sim. Sus. We got some good vocabulary out of this in the end. But I guess, like, I thought I was ready, and I'm realizing that I'm not, and I'm realizing that I need to figure that out real fucking quick. Ow, I'm gonna die. Ah, shit. I'm not. I knew this. I'm glad I'm doing this. I mean, this is why I gave up my stream so quick last night and just said I had a headache. It was because I had all this on my mind and I wasn't able to focus. But yeah, like, I feel like the emphasis on our discourse about thinking about how we're wrapping all this stuff up and trying to find out what we want to do when we want to go back to normal, the discussion is so logistically focused, and I think that people don't want to talk about, like, the emotional impact of all this, and whether, and you know, I think that everyone's going to need to take it at different paces, and luckily for me, we haven't been forced to, like, take any hard deadlines, like, you need to be back in the office by this day or whatever. Like, we're not being forced into things yet. I'm sure we will be, given some hard kind of deadlines and all this stuff. But, like, I don't know how long, I don't know how long I'm gonna need, but, I guess it's longer than I thought. Well, anyway, like, I just, I'm sure I'm not the only person who's trying to figure this out right now. And, you know, if you all are also trying to understand, like, how long it's going to take for you to try and figure this stuff out, like, you know, feel free to leave comments or chat on Discord or whatever, because we need to talk. We just need to. There's no way we can just do this and have our discourse entirely around the fucking, like, how long is your commute gonna be? You know, like, that's all that's at work, like, that's what we talk about, right? That's the extent of it, and that's expected, right? Like, you're not going to be able to really talk about anything in depth with your coworkers beyond that. It's mostly just like, hey, you know, Oh man, did you move? What's your new commute gonna be like? Is it gonna be 15 minutes or is it gonna be like an hour now? But like, what about thinking through things like, hey, I really highly valued being able to go for a walk in the middle of the day or do some dishes or some shit in the middle of my afternoon, and now I can't do that, and that freed up time. That had this runaway effect where I was able to free up more time to think and focus on stuff that I valued. And now it's like, okay, I have to figure out how much of that I'm willing to trade back, and it's kind of none. But I'll have to figure out what I can do. What I can do. That went a lot better than I expected it would if I was gonna go in that direction. I thought it was gonna be a complete and total fucking mess. I was way more coherent than I expected I would be. So at least that's good. Topic bummed you out. You're having off. Have a good stream. I understand. I'm probably just going to wrap this up, honestly. Yeah, I don't know. I'm okay, though, like, honestly, if any of this sounds like you want to be worried or anything about me, like, just, it's fine. Like, I'm totally fine. I truly am. Like, I'll get through everything. It shouldn't worry you. It doesn't worry me at all. But I hope we all can deal with this, and it's like almost as bad as trying to figure it out the first time when we all had to go in lockdown a year ago. Fucking, I had to do 2 birthdays in lockdown. That sucks. My birthday happened like right when this all started, and then I had to go through. Jesus Christ, we all thought this would be over so much longer ago, and man, it's been a hell of a time, and it just kind of feels like while we're going back to this and trying to figure out all this stuff, it feels like just as crazy and as intense as it was when this all started, and I didn't expect that. I did not expect that. I expected that it would be so much more welcome and like relieving and easier, and instead it's scary. It's scary. But it'll probably be better, right? It can't, no matter what, at least there will be less COVID around. It'll still be there, but less of it. So I guess objectively it's going to be better, but it's too much unknowns. Anyway, I don't really have any other thoughts. I don't know what the hell to title this episode when I put it on YouTube. You know what though? Like I'm feeling like so much better having like just said all that I'm gonna play some Hollow Knight, and I'm gonna focus up, and people told me I need to explore the Royal Waterways, and guess what, fuckers, here I am. So let's Let's play video games.